welcome in. My name is Amanda with Gemsnjoy, and this is going to be my first long YouTube video that I'm going to be posting. And for number one of my YouTube videos is I want to talk about for Whatnot. And if you're becoming a Whatnot seller, what are the first things that you need to do when becoming a Whatnot seller? And later on in this video, I'm going to take you on steps of going through the app and things that you need to change. Anything from whenever you become a Whatnot seller, you need to change like your Whatnot name, your business name that you want to choose. And I highly recommend choosing a Whatnot business username for something that you can use across the board with all social media, whether if it's, from Facebook to Instagram to TikTok to YouTube, all across the board. So if any of your viewers want to follow you on other platforms, they can find you all across. So that's something that you need to research and decide on, and choose that in the long run. And then I will also show you how you can locate where to set up for your payment. So once you have your first sale and all the items get delivered, how do you get your money and get it to your bank? You just have to set up for Stripe, but I show you where to locate that on the app. I also show you how to change your addresses if you have a local seller, or I'm sorry, a local buyer that purchases from you from your Whatnot show. If they want to do local pickup, like how to set that up, how to set up your return address, and then how to set up for if you're buying on the app to set up that address as well. And I explain that in further detail. And then also like basic what the seller hub just initially looks like on the back end. So with this discussion, before we get into all of that detail, is you signed up to be a Whatnot seller. What kind of things you are going to need to go live for the first time, and in prep for a show, what kind of supplies that you need. That is like the number one thing. You don't want to go into it and not being prepared of having all the things, because you have to get items shipped out within 2 business days. So number one that you're going to need is a cell phone of some sort. And most of the time, if you're already watching shows on the Whatnot app, you're going to go already have a phone. The way that I do things on my Whatnot shows is I use an iPad as my forward facing camera. So like what I'm filming on currently is my iPad filming me, and then I use my cell phone on a stand to the side, and I use my cell phone to run items. But if you don't have a separate device, you can use your phone as your camera, and you can face it downward, face it upward, whatever you want to do. If you want to be in front of the camera, behind the camera, you just need to have some kind of device. You can run items from your computer, but you still need a, like a phone or something to initially start the live. And whatever device that you end up using, you are going to need a phone stand of some sort, because you want to keep your viewpoint steady for the most point, unless you're going to be doing like live thrifting. Live thrifting, typically you're going to be holding your phone and browsing, scanning the shelves, such as that. But if you're going to be behind the camera or forward facing, where you're going to be acting like this is QVC, holding up a set item for sale, you're going to need a stand to hold your device steady so it is a nice view. The next thing you're going to need is a scale. A scale to weigh items in pounds and ounces, or what I prefer to weigh it in is in ounces, just because Whatnot has you enter things in ounces format just for the label process. You're going to need a tape measure of some sort. So you can measure set items that you are selling if somebody wants to know true measurements of them. And then also if something, if the box is bigger than 12 by 12 by 12, you're definitely going to be needing to measure the box. So tape measure is a plus. And then you're going to need your typical packing supplies, which is going to be a, tape. You're going to need, packaging tape. You're going to need bubble wrap. You're going to need paper, stretch wrap, and then also boxes, you know, all the packaging material, so you can pack all the items that you need to. I sell in vintage decor, so those type of items, I have to have bubble wrap to pack breakable items. As you guys can see, I have breakable items behind me that I actually have to pack up, and I use paper and stretch wrap, which is basically plastic wrap, to keep things tight instead of using so much tape. You can get boxes you're able to get from like grocery stores, Dollar Generals. You can order free ones, free priority boxes from USPS.com, and you can order flat rate boxes as well as mailing shipping boxes in all different sizes, whatever you're gonna need. So you can order those in, so that will help lessen your cost. If you can get free boxes from grocery stores or Walmart or something like that, you can also save, you know, a little bit of money on that as well. And then you're also going to need a printer. If you just have a regular printer, like an inkjet printer, that will work initially to get you by. But one suggestion is if you're going to be doing this for the long term, you see that it is going to be a business that is going to grow and work out for you, the best investment that I have made for my business is investing into a thermal printer. And you can get those on Amazon or Walmart.com or all kinds of different places. But the best investment that I have done for my business, and I think I purchased it within 1 month of selling on Whatnot, is I ordered a thermal printer, because you're not having to pay for paper, you're not having to pay for ink anymore. All you have to do, or tape to tape those said labels to the box, you're not having to spend so much money. All you have to do is purchase the thermal printer, and then you just have to buy the labels, because it is basically thermal. It's like a heat infused to make those said labels. So those are all of the things that I suggest for your first initial show to get you by, and then you can, you know, look into what other things you might potentially need as well. And I am going to put links in the comment section, the description of this video, of all the type of items that I use, so you can have access to clicking on those links to see what I personally use. Now, what I use may not work, you know, exactly what you prefer, but these are just the ones that I have tried and used the items, and I definitely approve, and I have purchased with my own money, and I'm going to link that in the comments. Okay, and then now we're going to go into the Whatnot app on the next part of this video, and I'm going to show you all the other things that we talked about at the beginning. So enjoy. Number one is, I would suggest going into your profile. So for mine, I am considered Gemsnjoy. But if you are a first-time seller, you want to click on the bottom right-hand corner where you see the account, and it will pull up with this screen. You will most likely, if you haven't uploaded your picture or anything, you won't have a picture there, but you can click on where my photo is of myself. You can change that. You can edit your profile. So if you click on edit profile, there you can edit your actual name that you want to portray to everybody that is able to view your profile. You can change your username, and I do highly recommend changing your username before you get started selling. Pick something that you are happy with, and also pick a username that you're able to carry over to other social medias, such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever other social medias that you want to be known. So if somebody wants to find you on other platforms, they can just cross-reference you very easily. You can also add your photo there, your background photo, which is the top of your actual profile, as well as your bio. I would keep your bio very simple and short and to the point, but it's really up to you what all you want to type in there, but that's how you would edit it. And then whenever you're done, you can hit save. The next thing that you want to do is you need to go into your account again, to where you get back to this screen. And again, I am using an iPad to show these devices. So if you have an Android or an iPhone, your screen may kind of look a little bit different, but for the most part, these settings are where they are located at. You want to go into the addresses field, and under addresses, you can indicate the address where your buyers, if you have anybody local, where they can pick up from you. So if you can see the top one, I have an address for local pickup, which is my local post office. And then I have an address under that, which is my default address, is where whenever I purchase items from other sellers, the address that my shipments would go to. And then the return address is what is actually going to be on your label that is sent to your customers. So whenever they receive the box from you, they know who it is coming from. So what I would suggest there is on your return address, instead of putting your first and last name because they won't know who you are, I would put your business name there. So in my case, mine is Gemsnjoy, so that's what I have listed under the return address. So I would get all of those set up so that is ready to go whenever you're ready to start selling. The next thing you would need to also do is go into your seller hub. I don't know it offhand if you have to do this before doing your first show, but it is something you need to know where it is located so you can start getting your payments whenever you have your first completed show. So you would go to the middle button where it says Seller Hub at the bottom, and this will list at the top, like if you want to create a product, a show, stuff that you need to ship, your account health, upcoming shows. But if you scroll down, there'll be a section that says payouts, and under payouts it will actually indicate like if you have funds that are coming to you, which I still have a pending show that I need to send out. But under that, you can click under edit payout settings. You can enter your actual bank information. Most likely, from my understanding, brand new sellers, you have to set up through Stripe, but that's how you get to that location. Let's see, so we set up so far how to set up your payment, change your addresses, setting your whatnot name and everything like that. And so those are the initial things that you need to do in order to get started with doing a show. Okay, now since we have went over all of that information on the Whatnot app of all the things that you need to get started on selling, the next videos that I'm going to do in the future are going to be like how to set up shows, how to set up 10 shows. I already have the 78-cent shipping out there, and I'm going to do other good videos of things to teach you about becoming a Whatnot seller. So stay tuned to future videos that I'm going to be sharing on my channel. So this is the end of this video, and thank you so much. Please be sure to subscribe and follow, and leave any comments if you have any questions from anything that I did share. Have a great day. See y'all next time.